Hi, I'm Scott Adkins, an actor and a martial artist, and this is Training Support. At Tipsy Like Jenga asks, how do MMA fighters take kicks to the shin? I stub mine and I'm TKO'd by the coffee table. Ha! I know the feeling. Every time that I've been away and made a movie for a few months, I come back and I start training again, and it hurts. If you're kicking the thigh pads without your trousers on, it takes a while to get used to it, and also if you don't do it, it feels like your shins quickly become like butter again. So thigh pads are what Thai boxers use, mostly for kicks. They're long pads like this that you slip your whole forearm into it, and they're great for hitting with round kicks, and then for the body you can hold them against your body. And so you punch them and you kick them, but they're very tough material made out of leather. It takes a while to get used to kicking those with a bare shin when you're a beginner. Just kicking the thigh pads will make your shins much harder, but there are other ways to harden them up, like rolling sticks and kneeling on beer bottles and all sorts of stuff like that. But the truth is, nothing can prepare you for how much it would hurt when you kick someone in the shin as hard as you can with your shin. In a fight, the adrenaline is going to stop you feeling it, but you're going to feel it the next day. At Alan Rodriguez 9 asks, question for martial artists, should I ever let a potential attacker know that you are trained in martial arts? In this country, the UK, it was said that if you were an expert in martial arts and you didn't warn a potential attacker that you're about to strike, you could actually be in a lot of trouble in a UK court of law. I'm not even sure if that still exists anymore, but I do know this story of a black belt taekwondo instructor from the UK who was in a pub and he was getting a bit of grief off someone, and he said to the guy, listen, I must warn you that I'm a black belt in taekwondo. And then he got knocked out spark just after he gave him the warning. So my advice to you is probably keep it a secret. Surprise is all part of being a good fighter. Never start a fight, but if you are sure, if you are positive that there's no way out, you can't talk your way out of this situation and that it's going to go down, just keep it a secret and knock the other guy out. At RZA. Wow, that's the real RZA. That's brilliant. Kick-Ass Friday. What movie do you think has the best fight scene ever? Great question, RZA. Obviously, I've seen a lot of martial arts films, as I'm sure you have as well. One of my favorite fights is from They Live, the John Carpenter film with Roddy Piper. I love the extended fight scene that they have in the middle of the movie when Roddy Piper's trying to get Keith to put the shades on, and he doesn't want to put the shades on. And it's a great fight because it's not about the choreography, it's not about how well it's shot. It's really about this battle of attrition where one guy's trying to get the other guy to do something, and the fight just goes on and on and on, and it doesn't stop. And then you think it's going to end, and it keeps going and it keeps going. And the way they perform it is brilliant. And it's got those funny moments in there. That is one of my favorite fight scenes. It's hard to say that's my favorite fight scene, but certainly that is one of my all-time favorite fights. They Live. At Get a Grip Gym, possibly stupid question for gymnasts. When you twist and you're tumbling, do you have to spot something like you do in a turn? You do have to spot. Not only in gymnastics, but also in martial arts. If I'm going to throw a spinning kick, before I throw the kick, I need to turn my head all around and spot my target so that I see who or what I'm going to kick before I kick it. You don't want to be kicking blind. And the same thing with gymnastics, with a straight back somersault with a twist. You go up, you get the height first. Wherever the head goes, the body will follow. So you twist your head, you need to see the floor so that you understand where it is and that you can land there. One of the things you need in gymnastics and also in martial arts is spatial awareness. You know, one of the things you need to do is spot. At Shelley239, boxing or kickboxing question. Which stance has an advantage, Orthodox or Southpaw, and is it worth knowing both? It's generally thought that a Southpaw has the advantage over an Orthodox fighter. So an Orthodox fighter is going to be someone who's right-handed, like me, and you're going to stand with your right hand back. This is the power side. Maybe your right leg is the power side. Typically a left-handed person, so he's going to stand the other way, and the power hand is going to be the left. Most people are right-handed. So if you take your average gym, the majority of people that are training in that gym are going to be right-handed. It stands to reason that the Southpaw, the left-handed guy, is going to have more experience fighting a right-handed guy. But to answer your question, it's definitely worth understanding and knowing how to fight in both stances. and to be able to throw strikes from an orthodox position and a southpaw position. And what I try to do as an orthodox fighter is I will switch stance just before throwing a strike. And if you're dealing with someone that's not very versed in that type of thing, they have to readjust. And in that split second, maybe that's just enough time to hit him with some strikes that he doesn't see coming because you've changed your stance and you're coming from a different perspective. At Nicolai G asks, question for martial artists, crescent kicks, straight leg or chamber? For those of you who don't know, a crescent kick is where I would bring up my knee. You can either do an outside crescent kick with the outside of the foot, or you can do an inside crescent kick with the inside of the foot. It's called a crescent because it moves either inwards or outwards. You need to chamber the leg. If you throw a straight leg, for me, that's going to be much slower than if you begin the movement with a bent knee. What I like to do with the crescent kick and with the hook kick is I like to chamber the knee and hold my foot in so that I can kick faster or swing through faster. And then at the last minute, I like to flick it out. So it comes out very loose, almost like a flicking motion. It works perfectly with a hook kick. But also I think for the crescent kick, you should bring it up with the knee bent and then flick out the outside of the foot so that you're hitting with much more torque and speed. I would suggest that if you're going to do a crescent kick, you do it with the knee bent. At Ellie Majero asks, so yesterday during my training, I decided to do the round kick. I want to learn how to combine the round kick and the uppercut. To follow up the round kick with an uppercut would be a bit of a strange technique to use, in my opinion. What I think you'd be better served doing, a lead uppercut off the lead arm, and then you can come through with the round kick. Now, this is a technique that I like to do, actually. A corkscrew uppercut. So you've got your standard uppercut, which is just coming straight up. But the corkscrew uppercut, it comes out a bit further, you twist up, but as I do it, I step off the center line. So I'm hitting my opponent, but I'm stepping off this way. And what I'm doing is I'm stepping across the line of his body, and I'm opening up his body to a lovely round kick to the body, or even a round kick to the head. Step across on the outside of his leg and throw that round kick into the midsection. And actually, you see Conor McGregor do this punch a lot, the corkscrew uppercut. He sort of jumps forward and to the side as he throws it, and he gets closer to his opponent and he can hit them with one of his powerful left strikes. At Melissa Heist, okay, kickboxing question. Round kick to the head. Is it okay to make contact with the foot instead of the shin? The shin gets me in too damn close. Well, I know what you're saying, Melissa. You don't want to be too damn close. If you can kick him in the head with the shin, that's preferable to the foot because the shin is much harder. Certainly if you're kicking to the body and to the leg, you don't want to catch them with your foot, because what you can do is sometimes bend your foot back, even break your foot. In some cases, that happens a lot. So if you can kick to the head and hit them with your shin, that's going to be preferable to the foot, but still the foot is going to do the job should you hit them hard enough and they don't see it coming. At Rin the Human asks, can you teach me how to properly drop kick? And the answer is no, because I'm sat here on my chair with these in my ears. I don't actually know what you mean by drop kick. Perhaps you mean the axe kick. Really what you need for an axe kick is to be very flexible so that you can bring your leg all the way up, and then of course you're going to contract your hamstrings when you get to the height and bring your heel down on your opponent's head. You need to be flexible. It's very easy to pull your hamstring if you're not warmed up, because as soon as you get to the height and your hamstring is fully stretched, you're going to contract it and you're going to bring the heel down on the guy's head, hopefully. It's a good kick. At J Masternev, I'm contemplating starting at-home kickboxing training. Any recommendations? Yes, Justin, I recommend that you go to my YouTube channel. Everyone was always asking me to do kicking tutorials, so I recommend you go to the Scott Adkins official YouTube channel. You will be able to learn some kicks from Scott Adkins himself. What a plug, what a plug. Big Ram 27 asks, how do you split your week between martial arts training and lifting weights? Frankly, I'd die, I'm adding that bit, I think that's what he meant, for a body like Boyka's. Muscle mass and martial arts don't go hand in hand. It can slow you down. Yes, you'll be stronger, you'll be more powerful, but it's also a lot more weight to carry around and you'll probably gas out quicker. Obviously, I make movies and people expect you to look a certain way. The first time I played Boyka, I was opposite Michael Jai White, who's a big guy, so I wanted to put on as much muscle mass as I could. The way I'll split up the week is I will normally weight train on a Sunday and a Monday, and then on a Tuesday I'll do my martial arts. Wednesday and Thursday I'll do some more bodybuilding, weight training, and then on Friday I'll do martial arts, and then I'm going to have Saturday off. That's typically how I split up the week. 4 days of weight training and 2 days of martial arts. But if I'm going to do a film that's more martial arts heavy, or if I want to be a bit lighter on the feet, I'll probably up the martial arts and cardio training and a bit less on the resistance training. At Yagatomo, this knee injury has slowed down my entire existence. How did Boyka manage to 180-degree spin into an extended knee block that caused the Colombian dude's shin to snap in two? I know where you're coming from, mate. Listen, I tore my ACL in my left knee. It took me a good year to get back to normal. Actually, I tore my ACL and then I had to do 3 films. Universal Soldier, I did El Gringo, and then I did The Expendables 2, all with no ACL. I don't know how I did it. By the time I got to do Expendables 2, it was winter in Bulgaria. Every morning I woke up in agonizing pain, but I just had to get on with it and throw kicks at Jason Statham. When I did get the surgery done, I had to take at least 9 months off of full contact, and I had to rehab it as best as I could. So if you've got knee problems, mate, what I suggest is that you really need to build up the muscles around the knee that are going to hold that in place. The stronger your leg is, the stronger your knee's going to be. If you can build up to doing piston squats, which is where you have one leg up in the air, all your weight's on the bad knee, and you can go all the way down to the bottom and push yourself all the way up to the top on one leg, then you know that your knee is going to be fixed. Yeah, and Boyka managed to do it, I don't know, just choreographed. At Tom Con M. Hi Scott, how did you build so much mass to play Boyka but stay so agile? Did you train like a bodybuilder to gain mass? Actually, yeah, I did train like a bodybuilder to gain mass. When I was first starting my weight training journey, I had the Joe Weider encyclopedia, which, you know, things have changed since then. But I've still kept those principles of bodybuilding, really. If you want to add muscle to your frame, you need to be putting your muscles into progressive overload. You need to keep lifting heavier weight in order to put muscle onto your frame. But you're right, it was very difficult when I did the first Boyka movie, and the reason I wanted to put the muscle mass on was because I'm the bad guy and Michael Jai White's the good guy, and he was so much bigger than me. I really wanted to put on as much muscle as possible because I just felt like I wasn't going to be enough of a threat. I wouldn't be able to intimidate him if I was as, you know, normal me. So I put on as much muscle as I could over the course of 6 months. Yeah, it was a lot of pressure on the joints. Obviously, Boyka does a lot of fancy kicks. He's very agile. So if you're doing a back somersault and you're carrying around an extra 6 kilograms of muscle, it's certainly, you feel it on the knees, you feel it on the back, you feel it everywhere. It's a lot harder, but back then I was 27 and I was a beast, and somehow managed to keep all the kicks that I was doing and then up my game and learn some even crazier ones and still carry around that muscle mass. But it's not easy, and it's a young man's game. Okay, so that's it. Thank you, Twitter, for all your questions, and thank you, Wired, for letting me give you some martial arts training support.